Hey there, friends. So this is not meant to be a definitive demo of the JHS Nauticlon. This is just meant to be a comparison, and so you can hear what it sounds like. But there are dozens, if not hundreds, of demos online right now, some of which I've seen. So I thought what would be more useful is that this is the one I built with my wifey. And since I've virtually tried every Dumble pedal out there over the last 10, 12 years, and I mean virtually, maybe I missed one or two, or perhaps there were one or two that didn't interest me, but between myself and my buddy Gary, my bandmate, we've tried them all, sometimes separately and together, and then got together and played through them. And I've also consulted with my friend Henry. Now, Gary has never played a Dumble as far as I know. I've played two. My friend Henry has played quite a few. And we always end up on the same ones that we like. So I've taken one of those, the Tanabe Dumkudo, and I have the Dumkudo Twin Custom here, which you will see. And that one I've got set up so one side of it is the Dumkudo side, which is his tweaked version of a Dumble pedal. And the other one is the green side, which is a Dumble pedal. So blue is the Dumkudo, green is Dumble. That's how it's set up. And then you'll also see next to it is the NOTADÜMBLÜ. Just in summary, the NOTADÜMBLÜ is a little heftier in the low mids. I'd say the 450 to 550 hertz region. It's definitely meatier. That wouldn't be my preference, but it's not bad at all. It just depends on, again, what amp you're playing through, because these are just pedals. They're overdrive pedals. Can they get you close? Sure, but they're never going to be what a Dumble is, because every Dumble amp was different. They were made specifically for the customer that ordered it. So each one was different. I will say that, for me, you'll hear it. Maybe I don't need to explain more, but the Dumkudo and the Dumble from Tanabe are more open and less woofy in that region, a little more defined. But these are like splitting hairs, really, because maybe all you need is a good overdrive pedal. And shockingly, the NOTADÜMBLÜ for $100 gets pretty close. So whether I had the Tanabe Dumkudo or the Barber Burn Unit EQ or the Royal Overdrive or any of the other number of Dumble pedals that I do like, that my friends also like, the Fusion pedals, the series of pedals. I like the Clean Fusion too, personally. But, there are other options. But you're splitting hairs. So with that said, let's give it a listen. Both of them are going into the new Ocean's Abyss, which has got two reverbs in parallel. So that, with nothing but the Ocean's Abyss going into a edge of breakup amp sound, is thus. Big, rich reverb sound. So hopefully that doesn't bother you. I know there's been some people who, why do you have reverb on in demos? Why do you put delay on? Look, that's my choice. You can do whatever you want. I want to have some reverb. And actually, in this case, having some reverb on allows you to hear the tails better of these, in my opinion. So forgive me. Let's try the NOTADÜMBLE first. And these are set for very modest, low to mid gain. I should also mention that the Tanabe Dumkudo can get quite gainy. The NOTADÜMBLE at best is a medium gain overdrive pedal. Nothing wrong with that, but that's its range. It's low to medium gain. I also will say that the clean part of it, the clean side is freaking fantastic. Unbelievable. So, all right. And now we'll try the Tanabe. This will be the blue side first, the Dumkudo side. Right? But the NOTADÜMBLE compares favorably to that, I think. Different EQ curve, definitely less woofy in that low mid on the Dumble side. A little bit more definition, but again, we're splitting hairs. The last thing I want to show you is the clean side of this NOTADÜMBLE, because that's pretty damn cool. Switching over. All right, again, this is with... There's still some body in the low end that gets added there, but in a good spot, in my opinion. And a little more open on the top with the boost side. And I mean, it's $100, you know, like if you wanted to buy a Barber Burn unit, I think the old ones, the dual EQ one, because that's the one that's really great. The new Bus one he's got is pretty good too, but I prefer the old Barber Burn unit EQ. But one of those will cost you $230. I don't know. That last time I looked, they were used for $230. The Tanabe Dumble, it's probably $400. The Royal Overdrive would be pretty expensive. The Clean Fusion 2 is not cheap. So, you know, for $100, it just depends what you're using it for. Again, you know, very few people have actually played a Dumble and can speak about it. So what are you chasing? Are you chasing a sound? Well, sure. And what is that sound? Is that the 80s Dumble sound or the 70s Dumble sound? The Tanabe Dumkudos are more reminiscent of the 70s sound, the Lowell George, David Lindley sound. The 80s sound, which Tanabe also does, is in some other pedals, the Zenkudo and whatever. They're more like the 80s Dumble sound, which is like Larry Carlton and Ford and those players. So that's a different thing, and Dumble did evolve. So what are you looking for? You know, what are you trying to cop? Or do you just want to be yourself? If you just want to be yourself and you don't want to spend a fortune on a decent overdrive pedal, there's nothing wrong with the Not a Dumble. Again, it depends what amp you're playing in. It could feel to you to be a little heavy in the low mids, but maybe not. Maybe your amp needs that little push. Either way, the boost side is fantastic, even if Josh did make the wrong pedal into the boost. So there you have it. That's what I think of the Not a Dumble. So I'll be doing a demo of the Electro-Harmonix Ocean Abyss soon. I'm getting ready to go out on tour. So I've got to put most of my time in there. I don't know how people can be full-time musicians and do pedal demos all the time, because it's a lot of work. And we, got to go out and make some money and make some music. But I appreciate you being here. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know.